Good evening, and I'm afraid there's bad news for quizzers everywhere. The International Olympic Committee has just ruled that quizzing is not a sport. Officially not a sport. So that's a shame. On the plus side, it means we can now take all the drugs we like. Sadly, receiving the news too late and thus quizzing sober tonight are, on my right, Ian Wallace, a bee enthusiast who, at 6 months old, weighed 2 stone and was named the heaviest baby in Tyneside. Josh Spiro, a classics graduate who inadvertently ate a floral decoration at a parliamentary dinner. And their captain, Mark Wallace, a political journalist who got into an altercation with global megastar Seal over an egg and cress sandwich. United by a taste for honey, they are the Beekeepers. Now, you won your opening matches, but just dropped a game against the Cosmopolitans. Has that dented confidence?
Not in the slightest. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So we're here, we're back, and we're hoping to get ahead this time.
Or it kills you later.
Sometimes.
Well, let's hope nothing kills you tonight, least of all your opponents, who are, on my left, Howard Friedman, a taxi driver who met his girlfriend on the picket line during the Wapping dispute. Adrian Knott, a keen ukulele player who gave his sister a mounted dead tarantula as a wedding present. And their captain, Michael Slowey, a business studies graduate who witnessed several armed robberies as a child, most of them at his local post office. United by a soft spot for statuettes, they are the Oscar men. Now, you lost your last game against the Smiths. Has that dented your confidence? How are you feeling?
No, not at all, but surprisingly relaxed.
So both teams have now a second and last chance to make the quarterfinals, and we will determine it by playing our usual quiz. You won the toss over there, so you'll be going first. Please choose an Egyptian hieroglyph.
Lion, please.
Lion. OK. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Next, please. Eighth wonder. Eighth wonder of the world.
There was a 7, so it's the extra.
Yeah. Next, please. He looks twice by Shigeru Miyamoto.
Oh, that's Donkey Kong.
Kong.
Is the answer. You didn't need to see the last one. Chinese Special Administrative Region, Hong. The other clues are all Kong. Yes, you recognise the computer game. Did you Donkey Kong?
Yes.
Have you played that obsessively as a younger person?
As a 5-year-old, yeah. I was up and down those ladders all the time.
And the eighth wonder, of course, King Kong from the film. What's Miranda Queen? What's that referring to?
Her friend calls, in the TV series, her friend calls her Queen Kong because she's very tall and ungainly.
That's right. In the sitcom Miranda Hart's character is referred to as Queen Kong by her boarding school chums. Well done. Oscar men, what would you like?
Can we have Horned Viper, please?
I don't see why not. These are going to be picture clues. What connects them? Here's the first.
Okay, so the Tyrannosaurus Rex, but it's in 8-bit graphics. Yeah? Next, please. Okay, Black Broken Robot. Yeah, next, please. Okay, so there's these. Okay, so I think this is what's called. I think this might be to do with Douglas Adams. There's a whale flying and a Marvin with Android was a. Okay. Should we go for?
Yeah.
Can we go for Douglas Adams linking them all, or Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy specifically?
Oh, yes, I don't think it really is. I quite like that inventive answer, but that's not what it is. I'm going to show the fourth clue to the Beekeepers for a possible bonus point.
These are the symbols displayed by particular websites when they break. So failure of online.
That's what it is. They are error messages, pictorial error messages. Which websites?
We've got Google Chrome is the first one. Josh was playing that on the train on the way here when his internet connection broke.
There's a little game. You play when it goes down. You press the space bar on the dinosaur races, and you have to jump over cacti.
So when you claimed that your obsessive Donkey Kong playing was when you were 5 years old, you were fudging the truth.
I didn't say I'd stopped.
Yeah, just through other media. The third one is the fail whale on Twitter.
That's absolutely
right. The final
right.
one will be YouTube.
That's it. Well done for the bonus. And you may choose a question. Which is it?
2 reads, please.
2 reads. OK. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Next, please. These two different things. Next, please. Publishers, we have another. I think. Next, please. Fictional publishers.
They are not all fictional publishers, so Oscarman, you have the chance for a bonus point.
These are all the companies in different versions of The Office throughout the world.
That is what it is. It's versions of The Office. And if they were all publishers, they'd be all fictional publishers. But actually, in the first one, it becomes an insurance firm in the German version of The Office. It's insurance. Les Papiers Jennings. Which version is that, do you think?
Le Français, yeah.
It's actually Canada, French-Canadian version. It's set in a paper company in Montreal. Dunder Mifflin,
It's
that's
the US version,
that's the American one. That's set in Pennsylvania. And Wernham Hogg, of course, the British one, in a paper company in Slough. So you get the bonus there for versions of The Office. And which question would you like?
Twisted Flax, please.
The Twisted Flax. Well, it's a music question. We'll be hearing your lovely clues. What connects them? Here's the first.
Oh, another piece of music. I don't know what it is, though. These kind of... Next, please.
You could have done something.
Oh, now this is theme tune, isn't it? Does this ring a bell? What? Does this ring a bell to you? Not really.
You didn't do
Well, you just
nothing.
keep going. Next, please. Right.
About wedding.
Yeah, okay, but let's not jump too quickly. Should we go for the first one? Next one, please.
3 seconds.
Should we say wedding?
Yeah, weddings, involving weddings.
That is not the answer, I'm afraid. So, Beekeepers, you have a bonus chance now.
These are different types of ecclesiastical location or different types of church.
They are places of worship, yes. Now, we did hear Get Me to the Church on Time, which is about a wedding, and Chapel of Love, which I suppose could be a wedding chapel. What about the first two pieces?
The second was Winchester Cathedral, who was by escapes me.
The new vaudeville band.
Ah, yes.
And the first one?
No,
Not sure.
Tchaikovsky's À l'Église, or To the Church in French. So not all about weddings, but more generally places of worship. Lots of bonuses changing hands this evening. What about your own question?
Water, please.
OK, well, there's a connection between these clues. Here's the first.
Next, please. These are letters that have been deleted from alphabets and the date and country which did so and when.
Very well done. Coming in after 2 clues, you get 3 points. Let's have a look at all the clues. What can you tell me about them?
So,
Did Ataturk not
Ataturk.
like the letter Q?
Well, he didn't like the letter Q, but he passed the alphabet law, so they Romanised the alphabet generally, but they dropped the Q, that disappeared, and K was preferred. Those letters from the Cyrillic alphabet in the second clue, well, that's to do with the general simplifying of the language in a sort of communist style. They took a few out that were a bit alike. We don't need them all. Azerbaijan decided it could dispense with the entire Cyrillic alphabet in 1991. And what about that fourth clue? Does that ring any bells with you?
Yeah, the Académie Française, in its perpetual revision of the French language, decided 26 years ago, I think, that they were going to get rid of some letters, and they only just got rid of the silent I in oignon.
That's right, to the absolute fury of the National Front. What? But the I is absolutely key to our identity. That was dropped, and there were all sorts of complaints, so you might have remembered that news story. All removed letters. Very well done. Oscarmen, there is one remaining question, the Eye of Horus, so it's swivelling itself towards you. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Next one, please.
They've been named after Greek gods or Norse gods or something. I don't know. No.
Look at next, please. We believe they may all be named after Norse gods.
They are not all named after Norse gods, I'm afraid, so I'm going to show the fourth clue to the Beekeepers for a possible bonus point.
These things that have been, the name has been voted on in a popular vote.
I'll take that. They are things that have been voted on. They've been the subject of polls on the internet, not all of them actually adopted as names. The newly discovered moons of Pluto. Do you know what Star Trek fans voted for?
Moony McMoonface?
No, it was Vulcan and Romulus, but they were called Styx and Cerberus instead. The apple-flavoured Mountain Dew drink, that wasn't an official thing by Mountain Dew, it was a third party. They had this poll, and people voted for things like diabetes. and the humpbacked whale, now that was given the name that people voted for on the internet, which was Mr. Splashy Pants.
Oh,
I think that's one of the places where your Norse gods rather fall down, Mr. Splashy Pants. And what about that fourth one?
Boaty
Boaty
McBoatface.
McBoatface won the poll, but the people were denied cruelly.
Boaty McBoatface won the poll, but the vessel was named after Sir David Attenborough, the great naturalist, instead. Well remembered. That means at the end of round 1, the Oscar men have 1 point, the Beekeepers have 8. Onwards to round 2, the sequence is round, and Beekeepers, you'll be going first again, so please choose a hieroglyph.
Lion, please.
Lion. OK, I'd like to know what would come fourth in this sequence. Here's the first.
Next, please.
These are presidential.
Presidential slogans.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Brackets 44.
Is an acceptable answer. Very well done.
Well
and
done.
why?
These are the slogans associated with presidents, followed by the president's number in brackets.
That's absolutely right. Not the only slogans, but various slogans are associated with presidential campaigns, and these are some of them. Who are the presidents?
Bush, Clinton, Bush, and Obama.
That's absolutely right. So, yes, we can, or some other slogan associated with President Obama, the 44th president I wanted to hear. Oscar men, what would you like?
2 reads, please.
The 2 reads, OK. These are going to be picture clues. What sort of thing would you expect to see in the fourth picture? Here's the first.
Okay, Val Kilmer. Okay, so we've got Batman. Could be Batman's. Could be Batman's. Next, please. Okay, right. Let's work this out. Val Kilmer. Then it was George Clooney. Then it was Mike. No. Oh, isn't it Christian based? Then what's going to be? It's going to be Ben Affleck.
Is the right answer for 3 points. Very well done. Tell me who you're looking at and what the sequence is.
A rather chubby Val Kilmer, he was in Batman Returns, and then there's George Clooney was in Batman and Robin, Christian Bale was the Dark Knight, and then we've now got the Batman vs Superman version, Ben Affleck.
That's pretty much it. Batman Forever was Val Kilmer's film, but they are successive Batmen. And the most recent in 2016, Ben Affleck from Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice. Very well done, and back to you, Beekeepers, for a choice.
Horned Viper, please.
The Horned Viper. OK, what would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
We need to go for another. Next, please. Oh, there's a car. Do you want some? Do you want another? Let's get another. Next, please. He's a classic.
1900, 1950, he's a classic.
Is it classic?
Yes.
1900, 1950? Should we go for classic? 1900 to 1915 classic.
Not the answer, I'm afraid, although an interesting guess, and I'll come back to you. Oscar men, do you want to have a go for a bonus?
1914 and below, and we're going to go with veteran.
Before 1914, veteran is the right answer. What is the sequence?
These are all classified of old cars, versions of older cars. So, you know, having a classic car is what you have now, but these were all how you classify the cars in these various periods of age.
That's right, they are classifications of classic cars. I think the problem with your answer is that they're sort of all classic, and also 1915 is the beginning of the vintage period, so we need to hear 1914 and before, and veteran, or Edwardian, some people say, which I think is rather nicer. Edwardian, rather charming. So well done for the bonus. And what would you like for your own question?
Twisted Flax, please.
The twisted facts. What would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Alright, 129. Next one, please. So, 134. What can I do? So,
no.
Okay, we can go move on. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Okay, can we have the next one, please? Right, I thought this is...
So what's the
3 seconds.
Okay, 156 in black.
And why would that be?
It's just a nice number and it's a nice colour.
Unfortunately, it's not the right answer. Beekeepers
147 in black.
is the right answer. And why?
Because these are the scores you get if in a perfect game in snooker when you get 147 each. That's the colour you've just potted to get to that score.
That is exactly right. The colour represents the snooker ball you've just potted to get that score on your way to a perfect break. Now, here's where you were unlucky, Oscar Men, with your guess of 156 in black. Had you said 155 in black, I would have given it to you. Do you know why?
Yeah, because if your opponent fouls, you can get extra points.
That's right. If your opponent fouls before your perfect break, you would get 155. So I'd have given you that, but you were one wrong in your otherwise beautiful guess.
Thank you.
You get the bonus then, Beekeepers, and which question would you like?
Water, please.
Water. OK, what would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
These constituencies. Next, please. Washington's. Yeah, but which election? I'm not sure it was last year. Next, please. Sunderland South.
I will accept, but before the answer comes up, we've got something slightly longer on the screen. Do you know what it is? Come, you're a political journalist.
Is it South with 4 H's?
No, it's Houghton and Sunderland South. That is the full name of the constituency known as Sunderland South, as was its previous name. And what is the sequence?
This is in reverse order the constituencies which declare respectively 4th, 3rd, 2nd and 1st at the last general election.
In the 2015 general election, it is in reverse order, the first 4 to declare. And Sunderland South often is. I mean, in the last 6 elections, they were the first to declare. That's why people might remember them. Well done. They might also remember them if they come from that area or have lived in that area or have any kind of knowledge. I don't mean it's just because of that election, but I mean people might guess the answer for that reason. Don't write in. Oscar Men, one question remains. The Eye of Horus, once again, that's left on the shelf. What would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Okay, this again, because these could be between the others.
What is it?
This is a musical by Ben Elton.
Oh, right.
Yeah, go next, please.
Yeah, so...
He didn't.
No, I don't think so.
It's definitely.
This is definitely...
What's the one he did with Blue Rocker?
That's the beautiful game.
Right.
Next, please. That's that.
It's going to be nice with
3 seconds.
Okay, we're going to go with Tommy.
Not the answer, I'm afraid. Beekeepers, do you know?
Billy Elliot.
That's not it either. What do you think the sequence is?
Not really sure. Something about musicals.
What do you think the sequence is?
We thought it was Ben Elton musicals, but we didn't know what his newest one was.
It is Ben Elton musicals, and the next one is Love Never Dies. Yes, they are musicals in the CV of the wonderful Ben Elton. The Beautiful Game, there's an urban myth about The Beautiful Game. Have you ever heard it? About how Ben Elton came to write it?
No.
The urban myth has it that Andrew Lloyd Webber, when looking for someone to write the book for his musical about football, wanted to approach the comedian David Baddiel, who is a writer who knows a lot about football, and slightly muddled up David Baddiel and Ben Elton in his head because some people think they look alike. I'm sure it's not true, but I've heard that said. Anyway, Ben Elton wrote it. It was a massive success, and he went on to write these others. Tonight's the Night. What music does that feature?
Tonight's the Night? I don't know. Doesn't ring a bell.
Oh, come on. Tonight's the night. It's a Rod Stewart musical, but it's actually not about the life of Rod Stewart. It's about a Detroit car worker, that particular story, but a jukebox musical with his music in it. All Ben Elton musicals, but you didn't get the last one. At the end of round 2, then, the Oscar men have 5 points. The Beekeepers have 14. Let's get these teams up against the wall, the connecting wall. And Oscar men, you'll be going first this time, so please choose lion or water.
Water wall, please.
OK, 2.5 minutes to solve the water wall, starting now.
Sure, that's a website. Chuckle, you've got a Cockermouth in Kendal. These are places in what you call
Cumbria, yeah.
Okay. Kendal, Barrow. Keswick's
Yeah.
Barrow. Cockermouth. Kendal, Barrow, Keswick, Spatria. Miss out.
No, not Chuckle.
Not Chuckle, sorry. What we're missing out then?
Miss out with Spatria.
It's okay. Keswick, Kendal, Cockermouth, Barrow. And there's no more there. Okay,
Marx Brothers, Coles Brothers, Chuckle Brothers.
Chuckle Brothers and
Wright Brothers.
Everly Brothers, Marx, Chuckle, Cohen. Okay, so Gaffor, Chortle, Titter, Catching Out. Yeah. Okay, so
3 lives now.
Okay, so I'm going to Cockermouth, Kendal, Barrow, and well, we had Keswick, have we tried?
Wheelchair, wheel spin, wheel right, wheel
Yeah,
bar.
Barrow. Okay, so
Keswick and Spatria.
wheel spin.
Not.
Wheel spin, wheel right, wheelchair, Barrow. Okay.
You solved the wall. Very well done. So that's 4 points immediately. And what about the connections? The top group, Marx, Chuckle, Cohen, Everly.
All brothers.
That is it. They're all well-known groups of brothers. And the green group, Chortle, Gaffor, I suppose that's Cacinate and Titter.
They're all laughs, types of laugh.
They are ways to talk about laughter. And what about the next group starting chair?
All preceded by the word wheel.
Wheelchair, wheel spin, wheelbarrow, wheelwright. That is correct. And what about this next one starting Keswick?
These are all towns in Cumbria.
They are all places in Cumbria. That is 4 points for the groups, 4 more for the connections, another 2 for getting it all right. Has that cheered you up after the early rounds?
Yeah, it has indeed.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's raised our spirits a bit.
Excellent stuff. Let's bring in their opponents now and give them a new connecting wall, see what they can do about solving it. You'll be getting the lion wall, that's what remains. You have 2.5 minutes to solve it, starting now.
Okay. So, children's the children's TV shows, Flumps, Magic Roundabout, Paddington, Noggin the Nog, Benji Benji and various others. What else have we got? Melancholy, Psyche.
Grecian Nightingale, Odes on.
Yep.
Ode on Melancholy.
Michelangelo's David.
Yeah, Melancholy.
No, okay. Right, let's keep, because there's various different. Okay, what's NG Benji? Is that another children? Must be another children's TV show.
So hang on, Paddington there. Is there another there?
Not that I can see. What else have we got? Bondi Beach. Waverloo is presumably an Australian place as well. Are there anywhere else?
Paddington is around Woolloomooloo. So Bondi Beach, Woolloomooloo, Paddington.
Is Waverloo an Australian? Okay, no.
Nightingale.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. What else do we have in here? So, the rocks. On the rocks.
It's definitely Odes on.
Is it autumn?
Oh yes, on autumn. On autumn.
Okay, do you want to take a note for Grecian urn and okay. Is there the machine? What's the machine going to be? Florence and...
Florence and the Magic Roundabout in Florence.
Oh, so Florence and the machine, Florence and the Magic Roundabout.
Florence Nightingale.
And Florence...
Florence.
Okay.
3 lives
Three
now.
lives. Right.
Australia.
So we've got children's stuff and so let's try children's stuff. So we've got Noggin the Nog, NG Benji,
Paddington and Waverloo. Flumps.
the Flumps, and then Paddington.
Go on. Sure.
No, right. Okay.
Quick.
Then we do Waverloo or Woolloomooloo?
Waverloo. We've got one more try afterwards.
That's it, you solved the wall. Very well done. Now what about the connections? Autumn, Melancholy, Grecian Urn, Psyche.
Odes. Too. These are odes.
I need something more specific.
Keats odes.
They are Keats Odes. Yes, the autumn is the most famous one. That's the old season of mists and mellow fruitfulness. And what about the green group starting the machine?
Florence.
That's right, yes. That's all sorts of different kinds of connections. There's a band, Florence and the Machine. It's a character in the Magic Roundabout. Florence and Nightingale, the nurse, of course, and Michelangelo's David is in Florence. The next one, The Frumps, Wabaloo, Noggin the Nog, Engy Benji.
Classic children's television shows.
Children's TV shows. And the last one, starting Woolloomooloo.
Places in Australia.
Again, you need to be more specific.
Sydney. They're in Sydney.
Place in Sydney.
They are places in Sydney, so that is 4 more points for the connections, and the bonus for getting it all right is a maximum of 10. Very well done. Let's have a look at the scores. The Oscar men have 15 points, the Beekeepers have 24. Time now for the missing vowels round. This will decide our place in the quarter-finals. So, fingers on buzzers, teams. I can tell you that the first group all avoid the sun. Beekeepers?
Vampires.
Correct. Beekeepers?
Gremlins.
Correct. Beekeepers? No, too long. Oscar men, do you know? No, it's from Lord of the Rings, the Nazgul. Next clue. Beekeepers?
Liverpudlians.
Correct. Next category, Shakespeare plays with a word changed to its opposite. Oscar men?
Much Ado About Everything.
Well done. Oscar men?
12th Day.
Yes, it is. Beekeepers?
The Summer's Tale.
Yes, it is. Beekeepers?
The Merry Husbands of Windsor.
Correct. Next category, they can all be abbreviated to 2 letters. Oscar men?
Headquarters.
HQ, correct. Beekeepers?
Province of Quebec.
PQ. Oscar men?
Intelligence quotient.
IQ. That last one was equalisation, or EQ, but the bell has gone for the end of the quiz, and looking at the final scores, I can tell you that the winners with 29 points and through to the quarterfinals are the Beekeepers. Very well done to you, well quizzed, and finishing in second place with 19, it's the Oscar men. So I'm afraid we're saying goodbye to you. I'm sorry. You've been lovely to have around.
Thank you.
Have a very good trip back. Thank you very much for watching, and if you were offended, or even if you weren't offended, please do feel free to complain. It's a wonderful way to learn how to use the internet. Goodbye.
The only way to the fell is by foot. We're there for the summer herding in the Lake District, a wild year next. Then the best bits from Series N in QI at 10. Sandy Toksvig and, well, pretty much everyone.